welcome to Ridiculously Serious, a show where we draft teams from absolutely ridiculous categories and have a completely serious debate about them. My name is Mike, and I am your host. As always, I'm joined by my co-hosts Joe and Brandy, who we're going to learn a little bit more about. How's it going, Joe?
Hey.
All right, so this week, your question to learn a little bit more about you. If you could repeat any year of your life, what year would it be? This can be a specific age or a calendar year.
I feel like this is going to get me in trouble with my wife, but I would repeat the age 13. As per our pre-recording discussion where I said I peaked at 13, more so than that, it was the oldest I was, so the most freedom that I was given before I started gaining real responsibility. So I got my first job at 14. So 13 was the last year that I didn't have that responsibility. I wasn't worried about college because 13 is 8th grade. So you're not quite, preparing for college, caring about your grades as much. And I was given as much freedom because I was a teenager at that point. And, I could walk to my friend's house and stay out a little bit later, especially on the weekends and stuff like that.
Sure.
And go to concerts and whatnot. So that I would I pretty much just skateboarded and went to some local shows all the time. So
yeah,
let's do that
fun.
again.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
All right, and Brandy, I've been alternating. I don't know if the viewers have picked up on this, but I've been alternating each week. I could ask one of you a deeper question and one of you a silly question. So I don't know if anybody's caught on to that, but
no.
In line with that theme, Brandy, what is your favorite amusement park ride?
Right. So I have two, but not entirely. I have a favorite, and then just one that I love the idea of.
Sure.
So my favorite is Nitro at Six Flags. That was my very first roller coaster ever. My aunt was like, "It'll be fine," and took me on it.
How old were you?
I was very young and very small, and that thing that goes in your lap did not go down all the way, so that was terrifying. I had my legs wrapped around that bar, no. It was horrifying. But at the end, I was like, okay.
Sure.
Very exciting. Also, the one I just love the idea of the most, which I don't even believe exists anymore, is the American Scream Machine, also at Six Flags.
Yeah.
Because that thing was a death trap, and just the idea that existed for any period of time is the funniest thing to me. Because for those who are unaware, there are two pads that go on either side of your head that stick out to keep your head stable so it doesn't break your neck, because the turns are so hard on it. But also there's a significant gap between those pads and the side of your head, so it just smashes your head back and forth in between them, and you leave with the worst headache you've ever experienced in your entire life.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
For people that don't know, New Jersey is also home to the most dangerous amusement park in history. What was the name of it again? I don't even remember.
Adventure Park, I think.
It was Adventure Park.
Yeah.
There's
legitimate documentaries about how dangerous and people dying and getting injured.
There was a loop slide that I think it was a water slide, but there was a loop slide that 3 people died on. Somebody died on it and they're like, it's probably a freak accident, it's fine. And then a second person died on it and they're like, you know what? Maybe we should keep an eye on this. And then a third person died on it and they were like, maybe we should shut this down. It took 3 separate deaths for that to get shut down, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's funny. No, that's cool. Amusement parks are good times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we're going to move on to announcing last week's winner. If you missed it, we did a draft of all our favorite millennial nostalgia. It made you laugh, it made you cry, and it also made you wonder where the hell the years went. The winner of the nostalgia draft, the one who brought back the most memories for our listening audience, was Joe.
Nice.
Nice. I knew that blowing into video game cartridges was going to clutch.
Yeah.
That had to have been probably the top one, I would think. You beat me by a vote. You edged me out by 1.
Nice.
So you took that home. So that was good. So congrats to Joe for winning the nostalgia draft. This week, we are drafting the best things to have with you on a deserted island. Now, there are some very important rules for this week. This is the rulesiest episode that we've had so far, for pretty obvious reasons, I feel like, especially once you hear the rules. So, best things to have with you on a deserted island. So, number one, or the rule number one, you cannot have anything that helps save you. So, no boats, no seaplanes, no flare guns, etc. Nothing that would just outright, give you a chance at saving yourself from the desert island. You are on this desert island. Number two, everything that you need to survive is already there, because otherwise the draft would have just been us like drafting things to survive, which isn't really comedic or fun. So basically, like, there's an infinite source of fresh water, so maybe there's like a pond or lake or something there that rain, whatever. There's plenty of vegetation, fish to eat, stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about survival, essentially. Number three, this is not a magical genie wish, so it's not, you can't just have any like absurd thing that you can think of. Everything has to be reasonable to attain. So the way that I put it to Joe and Brandy, just to kind of give an idea, was basically it has to be within the realm of possibility for like a middle to like upper middle class person to be able to attain, with that amount of money or whatever. So just something, reasonable. Number four, at one point in time, this island was used for secret government testing. So because of this, there is a full solar power system set up. So you have unlimited working electricity. So very important for a deserted island. I felt like that would open it up to some more fun picks. So again, this isn't survival draft or anything like that. It's a comedic podcast. So we kind of made some rules in a way that made it a little more fun. Two final rules. One is that a grouping of things that is closely enough related is reasonable to count as one thing. So, for example, with that electricity, if you wanted a TV, DVD player, and a bunch of DVDs, that's fine to choose as one thing. We're just counting that as kind of like a DVD collection setup type deal. Just don't go too wide with your grouping, or your pick might get denied if it's something that's just way too much to count as one group. And the last one is that there is no objective for this draft. So your choices can help you survive, they can improve your quality of life on the island, or they could just entertain you. There are no objectives, so what you judge to be the best draft of these things is going to be solely based on the person drafting them, or the person voting, what you felt like was the best, picks, the best options. So like I said, more rules this week. This is our rulesiest draft, but those are the rules. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and decide the draft order. So I believe I gave Joe first pick last week, but I think I'm actually going to change it up a little bit, and he won. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the first pick again this week since you won.
Let's go with 13.
13, sure. Brandy, go ahead.
Let's go with 77.
77. I'm going to take...
Yeah, because that's 100 minus 13.
Exactly.
I'm going to go dead middle. I'll go absolutely right in the middle with 60. No.
All right.
I should have said 45 since Brandy's was 90 was her snafu. But no, I will go with 50. I'll go dead middle with 50. All right. So the random number is 51. 51.
You're not allowed to do this anymore.
Hey, I haven't won in a few weeks, I don't think. This is my first draft pick win in a while. So it'll be me, then Brandy, then Joe. I have a very hard time seeing overlap in this draft. I'm pretty sure we're all going to have things that are very unique to us. So I'm going to go ahead and take the third pick. I'm not too worried about getting my feet stepped on with my picks. So I will take the third pick. So Brandy, you can go ahead and choose next.
Sure. I will go first because why not?
All right, Joe.
I'll pick second.
It's a good choice. It's a
good choice.
really strong choice. All right, so Brandy, go ahead and kick us off with the Desert Island draft.
Yes. This is kind of boring, but I had to take it because it's very important to me. I would very much like to have my computer. I'm assuming with the electricity there is internet. of some sort, or no?
So no, definitely no internet, because that could help save you.
Okay.
Yeah, that could help save you. So with
but what if you don't want to be safe? All right, then.
You can load it up with Roller Coaster Tycoon, though.
Yeah, you can choose like a specific game or something if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I had my laptop, I would hope it would be preloaded with the games that I own. Like,
sure,
this is my laptop specifically.
Sure. So
podcasts. I could write a book if I wanted to for no one.
So just to kind of give you an idea, just so you know, like, because now I can't pick it. I had my laptop with Football Manager, which is like a specific computer game. So like, yeah, you can pick like games preloaded if you wanted to like go that route.
Yeah, I mean, like my Steam library.
Sure.
Just be on my laptop. Yeah, all right, that works. No, I'll take it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad I took a few backups. I didn't think there was going to be much overlap, and I got a pick stolen on the first pick. So, but I thought if any pick was going to get stolen, it was going to be laptop. I figured that would probably be one of the ones to go. So
that's why I took it first, because I did not choose enough things to cover overlap.
All right, so we have Brandy's laptop with all her games and such, and her potential future novel. I'm going to guess, just from knowing you, I'm going to guess some sort of like sci-fi futuristic, you're writing about something in like the year 4027 or something is my guess.
Absolutely.
No way.
No.
Steampunk. It's definitely steampunk.
No, I have no desire for anything steampunk. If anything, more so
steampunk novel.
Fantasy. Elves and fairies and
steampunk elves. There we go.
No.
Steampunk elves. That's good. All right. Joe, your first pick of the night.
So I went in a very different direction than Brandy, going for the entertainment. I want ease of life.
Sure.
We're on an island, obviously you need to eat. And there was no mention in the rules of anything, unlimited supply of food or whatever.
Sure.
Well, I think making sure that not only I have food, but I'm able to produce that food without too much effort. So, one of the most important inventions of the industrial age, the rototiller, to just till my land for me so that I can plant plants. And that was like literally one of the first things that popped into my head.
Sure.
When this prompt was given, just because, obviously I don't think if I said like a tractor, I think that's out of the question. I think that would get denied. So as a rototiller, my parents owned one as a kid. They're not expensive. And they're nice. You can till whatever rows of garden and stuff you want, or garden or.
And it could also be a hobby. Gardening is a hobby.
I honestly think I probably would have allowed like an electric tractor. You couldn't have a gas tractor because you wouldn't have gas. But I think I would have allowed like an electric tractor. So I don't see why not. You could afford that if you're like a farmer.
I mean, this is like the same thing.
Sure.
Something to till the earth so I can easily plant plants.
Sure. Yeah, and in the rules, like I said, there's, vegetation efficient stuff, but that doesn't mean it's just there for you. You still have to attain it, so like it definitely makes sense still to go with the rototiller.
Yeah, there better be avocados though on the island.
Only avocados. Yeah, it's great protein if you're stuck on an island. All right, so that leaves to me for the first wraparound. So I had a feeling Joe was going to go the practical route. I had a feeling Brandy was going to go the entertainment route. It'll be funny if it stays that way because I went a mixed route. Like my list is a firm mix of quality of life, but also like entertainment, which obviously entertainment is also quality of life. But I meant more like tools and stuff for like ease of living. So I think the first thing I'm going to say is that you want some kind of like, you don't want to just be stuck just you, right? So obviously I can't bring another person. That's clearly out of the rules. But I feel like what I would be able to do is have my cat. I feel like that would be acceptable.
I'll allow it.
Because I mean, he's not doing anything for it. He's not going to help me get saved, or he's not going to, like another person is obviously too far. But I think the cat is fine. I have my little companion on the island. I think that's reasonable.
Sure.
So
I've got my volleyball. His name's Wilson.
So I would bring my cat Tez. Luckily he's like a year old too, so I'd get a real good lifespan out of him on the island, which is nice.
Until he gets eaten by an island condor.
An island condor. I guess
Or
I'll
a
have to protect
coconut
him
crab.
as well. Yeah. Oh, don't even joke about coconut crabs. Those things are terrifying. Hopefully I'm not
Huge.
stranded on a coconut crab island. That would be. I'd probably just
That
honestly
would be
kill myself.
horrifying.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to be there. But yeah. So I bring my cat, have my little companion, at least something to keep me busy, something to keep me occupied. I think would be nice. And then the second one that I think I'm gonna go with, I don't think this will get picked, but I want to make sure I do get it because I think there's a chance Joe might have went with something close to this. So a little bit on the sappy side, but I would like a tablet, some kind of tablet device, so bigger screen, filled with all the videos my wife and I have recorded like throughout our relationship. So I feel like that would be really nice. Because this is a comedic podcast, I will say that I want it to include all the videos that we've recorded throughout our relationship. I feel like that adds a little humor to the sappiness. But no, honestly, it would obviously be nice to be able to look back through the videos and remember and stuff like that.
You just wasted a pick, bro.
Just wasted a pick.
Gosh.
But I can't wait till your wife listens to this.
You're gonna get one vote, and it's gonna be Heather.
Yes, I can't wait until your wife listens to this back. I'll probably be able to hear her from my house, being like, "Joe,
I'm going
what
to vote
the
this
fuck,
time.
Joe."
I'm voting for Mike for that pick alone.
That I would get. Listen, aside from clearly stealing my wife's vote, I feel like you'd get a decent. We've recorded. Like if you think about, like my wife and I have been together 11 years, right? We've been married for a year, but together for 11. There's got to be like at least 50 hours worth of videos, just like 1 and 2 minute clips here and there of us throughout these. So like, it's got to be enough to like be able to watch and be entertained and like kind of watch that back and remember and all that fun stuff. So yeah, all the videos I think it's Heather. I don't think it's a wasted pick. I'm glad I picked it. All right, so we will go back to Joe for him to, I guess, not waste a pick.
Yeah. So this is another practical pick. Go along with my rototiller. I want some sort of waterproof sealant. Whether it's like caulk or that weird stuff that you can spray on the bottom
Flex
of
seal.
Flex seal. You spray it on the screen door on the bottom of a boat, and then your boat floats. Yeah, that one. Whatever. Some kind of, obviously a large supply of this stuff to last me a while. But I would want to be able to keep the elements out. Whether that's the weather or animals or bugs or weird things that come from the ocean. I don't know. So I would want some sort of a waterproof sealant to not only protect myself and my living environment, but also like the other things that I'm going to have going to bring to this island so they last as long as possible.
Sure.
Because there really is, the rototiller, if that thing's out in the rain all the time and getting wet, it's not going to last very long.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's another very practical pick for Joe's homestead on the island. So can't argue with that. All right, Brandy, you get to go back to back now.
Yes. I'm not sure if this is something that would already kind of be there. But I have on my list, I know we have things for survival there, like food and clean water.
You're fine.
Yeah,
we can barely hear the dog.
Yeah,
the
sorry about that.
No, this is fine.
Food and clean water. I would like a very nice set of like kitchenware, if that's allowed.
Damn, you keep picking off my list.
Pots and pans and utensils, because I want to make some like gourmet shit.
Yeah, you keep picking off my list, and it's kind of a problem for me. I didn't do that many backup. I didn't think we'd have that much crossover. I think that absolutely falls under a set, like a kitchen set. Absolutely, I think falls under like having a grouping of things. Pots, pans, utensils. Sure, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean that's a very solid pick. Like I said, I had it on my list. So I definitely cannot fault you for that. I had the same kind of line of thinking, which was to, be able to, like I said, you have fish and stuff obviously swimming around. It's the ocean. So I had the same line of thinking of, instead of just cooking the fish over an open fire, actually maybe being able to do something nice, maybe toss it in a pot with some, some different plants that you found, or you gardened or whatever. Maybe Joe's got his little herb garden going over there. So,
and I was very excited at the idea of like being able to make my own salt.
Okay.
Like with the, the pots, like boiling down the salt water and such, have my little seasonings, spice it up a bit.
I mean, listen, Britain conquered like half the world just to get salt. So if you can do it, on your island just with a pan or a pot, great, more power to you. They conquered half the world just to get spices, and they don't use any of them. So I don't really understand any of that, but it sounds like you're at least wanting to use some. So that's good.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So kitchen set, and then you can go right away with your third pick.
Oh, I forgot I got another one.
Oh, yeah, you got the wraparound.
Oh, no.
Well, you got three more, so I hope you have. I hope
No. I do have them. I just didn't know which one I wanted to choose next. Sure. I kind of looked through them as you guys are talking.
Sure.
Okay. I also, just for like comfortability, I don't know how long I'm gonna be there. I want just like a super nice like bed.
Sure.
Blankets, pillows, just like the comfiest of comfy.
I figured somebody was gonna go that route. I'm surprised I went to round 3. I thought somebody might have gone that route, but that definitely makes sense to have some nice bedding.
Very important to me.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time there currently, so it probably wouldn't be any different on a deserted island.
Sure. Yeah, so my only issue, one of the only reasons I didn't go with the bedding was just because I figured being outdoors in the elements, it could turn to crap pretty quick, depending on, how nice of a structure you were able to build.
Not if you brought waterproofing sealant like me.
I did think about that. I had hammock initially, but hammock is not quite as comfortable as I would like it to be. So if I did have a bed there, I would do literally everything in my power to protect that thing with my life.
Sure. Makes sense. All right. So that's a solid wraparound pick. So, Joe, you have your third pick now.
Yep. And for my third pick, I figure I'm going to be spending so much time, not being able to do the things that I do in my normal everyday life. And I'm going to really have to examine the things around me and kind of find interest in those things. So I figure probably the best thing would be to get like either a telescope or binoculars, something that's going to allow me to get, closer and better looks around this island, away from the island, out into the ocean. Also could possibly help with, if I'm fishing, say I'm, that's my source of food, or
Sure.
hunting, I can, look out and see where the animals are, the fish are, while still being far away and not disturbing them. So binoculars, telescope, either one of those things, something that makes things easier to see from far away.
Sure. That seems perfectly reasonable. Definitely makes sense. I thought you were going to go a little bit different direction of like entertainment, almost like if you had a telescope, look at the stars at night, or maybe
it's a double use. It's, certainly entertainment and certainly practical use for, simplicity of life.
Sure. Yeah, I like the thought of being able to like look around the island and explore without needing to walk around the island and explore, it kind of just in case, because you don't know what's on the what's on the island. So it kind of gives you a better feel for things. That makes sense. Another very practical pick. I dig it. So, all right. So that leads to my third and fourth picks, my second wraparound. This is tough now because I don't know which direction, because I have to leave one for the final pick. I'm still fine with picking the third. I still think I made an okay choice picking the third pick. I'm just debating which one I want to leave for my last pick. So I think what I am going to take, because I think this is definitely different enough than Brandy's. So she had mentioned like she thought about hammock and then went bed. So I actually love hammocks. So my thought was to get I kind of almost combined what Joe did and what Brandy did, which is I want a full-size hammock with mosquito netting. So I have like one of my favorite gifts I've ever received, which is a hammock with a canopy, and I take it to the beach because I live right on the beach, and I take it to the beach and I literally set up shop with the hammock with the canopy, and I chill there like for hours. It's so funny too because I can always hear people walking behind me. Like whenever there's couples walking behind me, one of them is always like, "Oh my god, I need that so bad!" Like when they're talking to each other. Like the one person, the one time it was funny. The one person said that they would probably, it was the 2 lifeguards, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'd definitely get fired if I had one of those because I would just do it here." But yeah, so I would want like a full sized hammock that has like, the reason I mentioned the canopy is because I want something that goes above it that then you hang the mosquito netting off of. Because one of my first thoughts was you really want somewhere, like the most important thing in your life really is sleep. Obviously like food and water, but I'm saying like on a consistent, basis, like if you're not sleeping on this island, you're screwed. Like you're screwed. So you can't sleep. If you set up like a shelter with sticks and stuff to protect you from the rain, that's not going to keep out the bugs. Maybe with what Joe's bringing, maybe it will. But my first thought was like, I really don't want to be trying to sleep and getting just absolutely eaten alive in my crappy shelter that only keeps out the rain and that's it. So I was like, if I get, hammock and get that I'm talking that real fine mosquito netting. So like nothing can get through it. Those real tiny holes. That way get a good night's sleep. I can, not even that, but I can go in there when I just want to get away from the bugs, when I don't want to be out just on the beach, just kind of duck in there. My cat can sleep in there and not get eaten by island condors. At night he can hide under the netting. I feel like you get a lot of good uses out of both things, out of obviously the hammock for sleeping and resting and stuff, and the mosquito netting just throughout the day. Would be really nice. And then if it's like the full hammock, like I said, with canopy and stuff, you get out of the sun. So it just offers a little bit of everything. I felt like it was really versatile and would lend itself well to being stuck on an island. Yeah. So that was number 3. So now I get the second pick of my wraparound, and this is where it gets tough because I have one more. I think I'll be able to get both, but I have one more fun one and one more serious one. I don't think there's any way my fun one gets picked, depending on how serious we are about overlap, like how much we would count to being the same. But I think I'll take the serious one since I took the hammock. This will be my serious round. I would like to take a Swiss Army knife. So I feel like, so for anyone that's listening to the podcast and not watching the video, Joe was visibly upset by that pick. But yeah, I mean,
that was my next one.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself, really. Like Swiss Army knife, it does everything. Like you catch some fish, you got to fillet it up and stuff. Boom, you got your knife. You got to do something with wood to shape some wood to fit it where you need to fit it for whatever structure you're doing. You got that. Somebody sends you a message in a bottle, but they put the cork in too tight. You got the corkscrew. All that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like just it offers so much versatility. And just does so much for you. On an island, just all kind of walks of life. So I feel like that one probably doesn't need too much explaining because it just kind of makes sense. So with that serious round of picks, I will pass it back over to Joe.
All right, so you took what I was going to do next. I was going to do a Swiss Army knife as well, but I'll go with my last pick. Well, what would have been my last pick, and I'm going to have to pull in one of my backups. Like an at-home gym setup. Nothing, not like like a whole
like a Bowflex.
Yeah, something. Not. I wouldn't want a Bowflex
because I would want Bowflex.
No, because I specifically want loose weights because I can use them for other things.
You're getting a Bowflex and a shake weight, and you'll be happy about it.
Dude, literally not what I want.
That's it. That's all you're getting. It's like no. The what's that? Is it a movie or TV? What's the one with the jerk genie where you ask for a wish, but he like gives it to you in the most jerk way possible?
Oh, the Goosebumps episode. Be careful what you wish for.
Is that what that was? I just remember seeing something at some point. where it was like
It
a
was.
genie who was like, he listened to your wish, but then did it in like the most jerk way possible.
Yeah,
I know what you're referring to, and I cannot remember for the life.
It was an episode of Goosebumps.
I feel like it was like maybe a standalone thing as well, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're getting a Bowflex and a shake weight, and you're just gonna be happy about it.
I hate this. I want to stay in shape, but I also like want to be able to utilize the items because a bar is very useful as well as the weights on it, so on and so forth. You can make a pulley system with a lot of the equipment, yada yada.
I feel like if I was stranded on a deserted island, the only way I wouldn't be obese within a year is if I had like a shortage of food. Because like if I had adequate food, I would get fat as hell because I would just stop caring about everything. Like I would just like, listen, credit to you for wanting to stay in shape and like,
yeah,
I'm with Brandy. I would be so fat and like barely move and like.
I'm trying to live like a long and healthy life on this island. I'm picking things for my own well-being. You're over here like, I want to look at pictures of Heather.
Bro, I'm a millennial. I barely want to live. I barely want to exist in this life, let alone a deserted island. Because if I live 2 years on this deserted island, we'll call it a great run.
To be fair, I don't want to completely just lay in my very nice, beautiful bed that I get the whole time. I do imagine that I would just naturally be doing some exercising with building things and building shelter and walking around still getting like a nice, reasonable amount of exercise.
Swimming's great exercise.
Yeah.
The only reason I try to have muscles is so that my wife stays attracted to me. If I'm deserted island, what do I need muscles for? They're useless. Useless. If you're listening to this and you have big muscles and you're already married, you're useless. Just know that. They serve
Agreed.
No purpose.
We just lost 3 viewers.
No.
Oh man, might as well cancel it, I guess, at this point if we lost all 3 viewers.
All 3.
All 3.
It's all right. I kept my wife after the early part, but we lost Joe's wife after his comments, so they canceled out. So,
Yikes.
But all right, so Joe's staying in shape. He's trying to live a healthy, responsible lifestyle for God knows what reason. Brandy, go ahead and finish up your draft with picks 4 and 5.
Yeah, I did have something on here that I realized I can't use now. So for my next one, another kind of reasonable one, but not really. I want chickens.
Okay.
One for eggs, because I imagine that's not something that's already, provided on said island.
Sure. Yeah, there's island condors. We've been over this. You can eat their eggs.
Yeah, but if you eat all their eggs, then there's no more island condors.
Well, you gotta. What's it called?
Ration.
Sure.
Ration works.
I want a bunch of chickens to keep making little babies and little eggs. And I love chicken.
No, so you went wrong there though. You went wrong because you said you want chickens. You can have eggs from chickens, but you're not getting babies because you didn't ask for any hens or not hens, roosters.
Well, they're all the same to me.
Do they count? I know they're all chickens. Yeah, I guess that counts. Okay.
Roosters and hens are all chickens.
If you're allowed to have a TV, a DVD player, and a full box set of all the Rocky movies,
I wasn't saying you couldn't have
hens
it.
and roosters.
All 9 seasons of Friends.
There's 10 seasons of Friends, sir.
Oh no!
No, I wasn't saying you couldn't have it. I was just saying you didn't say it, but I guess you did say it. I guess I don't know why. I guess I associate.
That's what I had intended. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's sexist.
That is sexist.
I want them to be my pets as well.
Sure, chickens are dope.
And you're gonna eat your pets. That's wonderful.
I'm gonna eat their unborn children.
Next time,
to be fair, eggs are not unborn
children.
Stay away
from Bella and Stella.
I'm not eating the chickens themselves. They will live long, healthy lives and die of old age. I just want the eggs.
Then what are you going to do with
Brandy,
them?
you might want to revisit a high school biology class because chicken eggs are not baby chickens, in case you were not aware of that fact. At no point the eggs that people eat, like from grocery stores, there are no baby chickens in there.
I know that. I'm just saying.
Listen, a lot of people don't. Do you know how many people I've talked to that thought literally you were eating like baby chicken, like fetuses? It's a scary amount.
In this day and age?
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
that's for the state of Texas.
Yes. A scary amount.
Yikes.
It's all right. I don't think we have any listeners from Texas, so we're fine.
Not yet.
We're okay.
And now we never will.
All right. So, I like chickens. Chicken's a solid pick. I don't know for allowing animals, though. That's the only problem.
Oh.
You brought your cat!
I was like, wait a minute.
That was indeed the joke.
All right.
All right, so go ahead, Brandy. Take us home in the 5th round.
Oh, this is hard. I'm between two.
Luckily for you only need to pick one of them.
Yeah.
Who's
I
the
want a
host of that
floaty.
now?
They can't decide. I hope it's eventually LeVar Burton. That'd be awesome.
Okay, I thought I saw that he had done some.
He did a guest spot.
Yeah.
I'd like him or Ken Jennings. Those are my top two.
Okay. Yeah, LeVar would be cool. I did hear floaty in there right before we got off on that
Yes.
tangent.
I want a floaty.
Yeah, I dig it. I considered like a paddleboard, so you kind of along the same lines with the floaty.
Yeah, I just want to be able to like relax and vibe. Like
Sure.
if I'm out there, just want to hang out. I love being in the water. I love laying in the water. All good stuff.
Yeah,
Be comfy, have fun.
I don't think a raft or a floaty is saving you. Like, I don't think you could get across the ocean in a floaty. So I think
I would not use it for that purpose anyway, even if I thought that there was a chance.
That's why I had the paddleboard, because I thought about it and I was like, there's no way you're making it across the ocean on a friggin' paddleboard. So there's no way that's saving you. So I just figured I went the exercise route with the paddleboard, like Joe, got with the jet. I kind of went that route. But yeah, floaty, I dig it. Just a nice relaxation. You go from laying in your floaty to laying on your bed.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make the best of it,
I'm with you. I have no intention of getting off this island. Like, I'm super happy to just chill on this island and live out my days, all 42 of them.
Cook some good food.
6 weeks. I give me 6 weeks on the island. 42 days. That's
as long as it takes to watch your tablet full of videos.
Yeah, that's it. I get to the last video and I'm like, all right, that was all I needed.
Perfect.
Just done. But I don't know. Listen, with the way the world's going, deserted island life sounds kind of nice, to be honest. I don't think I would turn it down if I had the offer. Don't tell that to my wife and my pregnant wife and my unborn child. But I think I would think long and hard about that deserted island offer.
I mean, I'm right there right now. I'll pack up and go today.
To be fair, you don't have a pregnant wife, so
no.
There's not really people that are going to be mad at you for saying that.
Exactly. I'm out scot-free here. Joe, on the other hand.
Yeah, Joe has to.
You're already in trouble.
Joe already said he doesn't care about his wife earlier in the episode.
I did not say
that's
those words.
That's exactly what he said. He said, I want to go to my deserted island with my shake weight and never think about my wife again. That's exactly what he said. I heard it in those words.
I believe that is false, and I'd like the record to show that I am correct.
All right, I'll make sure our stenographer notes it down.
Okay. All right, my last pick, right? We're up to me.
You are.
All right, so it's interesting that you, Brandy, were talking about a floaty, and then Mike was talking about a paddleboard. I saved this one for last because I figured neither of you would pick it, just knowing your hobbies and stuff. But I would want a surfboard there. I have surfed a handful of times in my life. Spent way more time snowboarding and skateboarding, but definitely love surfing. And obviously, I would have infinite time and the perfect setting in order to do some of that. And the nice thing about it is, like, it's a hobby that's not, like I bring my comic collection and I read through it all and then it's done. Sure. I can't I guess I could reread it, but it's the same thing over and over again. Whereas surfing is different every day. The waves change, your skills change. So it's a continuously evolving hobby to have on the island.
Yeah.
And I imagine not much skateboarding able to be done on an island.
Apparently really bad for skateboards. You can ask the 9-year-old me that brought my skateboard to Ocean City and got sand in the bearings, and then the wheels didn't spin very good anymore.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Yikes.
I can't say that if you're trapped on this desert island like forever, you could probably cut down enough trees to make like a half pipe.
Sure. But one of the reasons I actually set a surfboard as well is I prop it up on something and it works as a nice table as well.
Sure.
Or something else. It's
Nice.
very
A
large.
sun blocker if you
does
prop it up
have-
high enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it for a lot of different things. You can just lay on it. You can use it as a table. You could, whatever.
Definitely versatile.
Whatever you need it for.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that one. Solid. All right, so I will bring us home here. So I have the entertainment of the cat. I have the practicality of the hammock with the mosquito netting and the Swiss Army knife. And then I have the entertainment of the tablet with the videos. So I joked about not caring about my body, kind of letting that go on the island, not really caring about that. But one thing I do care about is my brain. I like to keep my brain active. Even on the island, I feel like I'd want to keep my brain active and kind of have something to like focus on and stuff. So I wanted to think of the biggest collection of books that was like reasonable to have, where it wasn't like 1,000 books because that seemed unreasonable. But I also wanted it to be books I liked, so I settled on the Dictionary, a Thesaurus. No, I'm kidding. I would
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah. I decided or settled on bringing all of James Patterson's books for two reasons. One is that I really do enjoy James Patterson. I do because like I said, I wanted to keep my mind sharp, and obviously those aren't they're not like science books or anything, but like just reading in general kind of keeps your mind a little sharp, no matter what it's about. But one is that I enjoy James Patterson's stories. I read those now just in my spare time anyway. And two is that he's written a ton of them. So like I was my main thing was trying to think. I decided I wanted to group it by author because I figured that was the easiest way to get like a grouping of books. And he's written a ton of books.
Infinite. But a lot of them are him and someone else, which means someone else wrote it and he put his name on it to sell it, but irrelevant.
Sure. Listen, I'm not saying I love the guy. I'm just saying,
I did not know that you had the literary taste of like a middle-aged woman, but hey, it's good. It's good.
Listen, he writes. I'm reading the Private series right now. It's a really, really good series. But no, he's got like a wide variety. Like they really do. Like some of them, I'm not gonna like at all. Like
if I remember correctly, he is like after J.K. Rowling being number one.
He is number two. Yeah,
I think he's number two above Stephen King.
He is.
Wild,
but that's not per book though. It's like because he's written so many.
Yeah.
So I figured I didn't look up to see how many he had written, but I figured if I take James Patterson's books to this island, I'm gonna get books that I mostly enjoy reading, and also I'm probably getting at least 100 books.
Oh, way more.
Yeah, like at least so there's so many that it's gonna keep me occupied for a very long time. So that I felt like was my best grouping of books. I will say I'm not he was the one I thought of because I'm not like an avid reader. Like I read a few chapters a day while I have some downtime, stuff like that. But I figured
a few chapters a day is pretty avid.
Yeah.
More
than I read.
So it sounds like you're not really a James Patterson person. I don't know if you've ever read any of his stuff. His chapters, his writing style, his chapters are very short. Like some of his chapters are legitimate 4 or 5 pages. So
that's still quite a bit. That's a lot of reading.
I guess so. I mean, to be perfectly honest,
I also do a lot of reading.
Yeah, I mean, it's I make time here or there, but you're stuck on an island. Like, what else are you gonna do? So
write a book.
It's true. You could write a book. According to Joe, it might be better than James Patterson's.
It probably will be.
But yeah, like I said, I'm reading one of his books now, so that was what made me think of him specifically. I could probably go back and just continuously read all the Harry Potter books just from childhood nostalgia. Just finish them and then just go back and start over because it takes so long. But it was between those and all the Captain Underpants books. That was the two choices.
There on this bookshelf I have right over here, it's almost every kid's book imaginable from when I was an elementary school teacher. And now they're being saved for my future children.
Bro, Captain Underpants was my jam in probably early middle school, maybe 6th, 7th grade.
I not only have Captain Underpants, I have pretty much every book that Dave Pilkey has ever written. I have the whole Dogman series. I have the whole Captain Underpants series, all that stuff.
That was like barely half a joke. Like those are excellent books. Like they're
No, they
so
are.
much fun. Great books.
Never read them.
And what?
Nope.
That's worst,
He's
worst
like
thing you've ever said.
Our generation's Dr. Seuss.
Mm.
They're so good. You honestly probably would even enjoy them at this age. Like they're so good.
Mm.
Maybe a little bit not without that nostalgia though. But
Yeah, I feel like
are.
that would be mainly nostalgia.
No,
Enjoyment.
they hold up well though. They're very good books. But yeah, so that rounds out the draft portion. I know I usually do like the best of the rest, but honestly, we had more overlap than I thought. I had 8 on my list, and then Brandy took the kitchen set and the laptop. The only other thing I had was box of lighters. So I figured, cooking and stuff. Like if you don't have a way to make fire, like none of us took a way to make fire. Like Brandy took a kitchen set, so you better figure out how to make fire. You better rub those sticks together.
In my ability.
Yeah,
to
you
make
better
a fire.
rub the hell out of those sticks. But I figured I had box of lighters just as that was like my last backup. That was like if you guys took everything else, I was gonna do box of lighters because it's not extremely necessary. But I just figured instead of if you can't perfect the rubbing sticks together, or after it rained, now all your sticks are wet. I just figured it'd be a lot easier just to have the lighters get things going, so you could eat that food. But
I had the thing I originally wanted and decided not to go with. For some reason in my brain, I guess I shut it out when we originally talked about it. I thought there was a chance in one of these scenarios that there like maybe other people on the island. But when you said, you're alone, I ruled that out. I wanted to bring a full setup for like Dungeons and Dragons because I feel like you can just create endless scenarios, and even just one campaign can run for like years,
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's, endless entertainment, always changing. But obviously, I also thought maybe I'll still bring that even if I am by myself, because I imagine there's a point where you reach insanity and just start talking to yourself anyway. So you could like create your own campaign with you and your imaginary people that
I honestly
inevitably will happen.
I honestly see no reason why you couldn't. Like that's still honestly like, sure, you might not do that in like regular life, but if you're trapped on an island alone, that actually seems like it'd be a good way to pass time and like have fun and
Especially when you lose it and you're like sitting at one side of the table and you're like, all right, Brandy, roll for acrobatics. And then you have to get up and walk around
and run to the other side.
Okay, Brandy, crit.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Honestly, at that point, you might as well walk around the other side of the table and do both rolls because, like, what the hell else do you have to do? Like, are you in a rush to get this game over with that you can't do that? Like, I think that was would have been a good pick for sure.
Well, I didn't pick it. I picked Floaty instead for some reason.
To be fair, I also like Floaty a lot.
Joe's wonderful wife that I apparently love more than him had mentioned it the other day. So I had to use it.
Yeah, Floaty's good. I like Floaty.
Shelby is obsessed with making up prompts for us. She sent Mike like 15.
She did. She sent me a list of like 15 to 20 that. So some are good. I'm gonna go over and we'll probably do some.
I love that.
So like I said, I tell people every week, if you want to send me ideas, I will absolutely read them and potentially use them because Joe's wife sends them to me all the time, and we will definitely be using some of them. So by all means, if you're like, hey, I have this topic I would really like to hear an episode about, send it in. But yeah, so that was our...
Send it to Zoom.
So that was our Deserted Island stuff draft. If you are enjoying the podcast, you can do the same thing you can always do, which is go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. Leave us a nice little review. Would be awesome. Would really help us get the name out there a little bit more. Take you under probably 20 seconds to do that. Everything's nice and streamlined nowadays. Like I said, if you have an idea, shoot me an email, ridiculouslyseriousPodcast@gmail.com. And that will wrap up the episode for today. Thank you for listening, and we will be back with you guys next week.